Hello everyone, Darren here, and welcome back to Cities Skylines. Now in the last episode, we hit a very important milestone. We became a small city. That's right, about 12 hours in, we can finally say that we have a city in front of us, even if it is small. Now, it's not all about size, it's about how you use it. And right now, we have a lot of new fun toys to use. So without any further delay, let's just get to building. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the small city of swords. It's the crack of dawn, and fires are ablaze across the city, as is tradition for starting a new episode. Now, there is tons of stuff to get to today. I'll try to waffle on a lot less than I did in the previous episode. Not that anyone complained, I just feel like we didn't actually get a lot done. But today, we have a ton of new things to use, so let's just get started. So, one of the first things I asked you guys in the previous episode was, should we use a cargo terminal? So this is something new we've unlocked. We've unlocked trains. Now, I actually don't have the standard train tracks and stuff unlocked, I think, until we at least put down the train terminal, so we'll have to do that first. However, we can indeed edit this train track first before we do, and using the picker tool, I think we can just put it down anyway. So, cargo train terminal, let's have a quick read. Build a train terminal to allow trains to carry goods and raw materials. Cargo trains can operate inside the city, or with an outside connection. Build stations and connect them with tracks before using the train line tool to make a line. Okay, so pretty straightforward. So I'd asked, was there any point in really doing it if we were sending stuff out of the city right next to it anyway, right? This is my world border as we currently have it. Oh my god, we can see tons of stuff are probably going to start making their way in soon. Oh no, actually they're going past us. Some of them. Anyways, get distracted. So, we have an outside connection right here. So I was kind of debating, do we need to really have a train line take it out? Would it make much difference? But a lot of you guys said yes, it would transport a higher volume of goods and just cut down on traffic generally. So we'll give it a shot. Also, I'm not entirely sure, but our commercial districts that are over here, here, and further into the downtown area that we're currently developing, because it's so far away from where the train terminal is, it's very unlikely that anything will really come in that will need to go there. Because I was also a little worried that if we were just delivering stuff here, it actually would add to the traffic rather than reduce it. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's just monitor it and see how it goes. So, we'll pause time just to not affect any trains that are coming along here. Just delete the track, and then lay our own tracks. Now, we're going to be working with the edge of the world border, like I said. So it's going to be a little tricky, just ever so slightly, but we should be good. Now, I'm not too 100% sure on this idea, but let's give it a shot. So, I had an idea that if I was to build the train terminal right along the road, it actually, very coincidentally, just fits the exact length of the fields that we built. So, perfect spacing, really, right? To have a road go either side of it. Or so I thought. I thought, like, well, it's going to kind of clog up some traffic here. Trucks are going to be hitting this place a lot. So maybe we could give it its own bespoke road to cut down on some of that traffic. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So let's just grab the road tool here. And then, I don't know if I can do this without snapping. Let's see. Let's go turn off angle and stuff. I want to keep the grid, but I don't want to snap. Is there any way I can not snap? I'm not sure. Maybe there is. But let's just turn off grid even. It still wants to snap. Okay, well. Fair enough. So let's try to do something where we don't snap. I don't know how I was able to do it before. Anarchy, maybe? I have no idea. I'm so sorry I've even messed up the beginning here by doing that. But let's just... I wanted to build a parallel road, right? Something like this. Although this might be a bit too long. I don't know. Let's give that a shot. Let's Anarchy join it together. Alright. And then... Get out of my face. And then what we're going to do is upgrade this to be a one-way. Okay. So basically the idea would be that if you want to go offload onto this railway, you go onto this little mini side road, I guess. And that way traffic should be able to flow relatively free here. Now, bear in mind this is going to cause people like a queue kind of coming out of here. We don't actually have traffic lights or anything. Hopefully they can just work it out for themselves and we'll see how that goes. Now I know with Move It, I could move this road much closer if I wanted to, but we'll leave it like that. Hopefully that'll be okay. Alright, let's get started. So, cargo terminal, we'll just slam it down somewhere here in the middle. And they're at least loving it, so that's good. And then we'll just grab our rail with the picker and just bring this out to connect it back up. So we need to turn back on our grid and guidelines. We'll go with a curve tool. And if we go out to roughly the edge where it tells me the line is, right to there. No, I messed that up actually, sorry. We need to go just maybe with a straight line up to almost that angle. So about to there. Then go, I think this is how you do it. I'm talking it out loud as if I know what I'm doing when I'm kind of just feeling it out. So we'll just go straight line again. We want to bring them really close together and then just join them with a nice little bend. Try about there? I don't know. Yeah. Smooth. Pretty smooth. Yeah, nice. Now, this is where the comments come into play. Of course, you guys said, yeah, you should try this out. This should be good. People liked my idea of building another one over in the edge of the map for oil later on. But also, a great comment pointed out that maybe we should have a parallel track going past it as a bypass so that trains don't get backed up on this rail line in case things are loading or unloading. Which is great, because obviously these trains move not only cargo, but passengers too. Our one is just going to be doing cargo, but passenger trains are going to be going to and from, and in the future, you know, if we unlock a couple of these tiles, this train line goes like right along here. It'd be great to just divert it straight into a big train terminal or something in the center to move people around. That'd be one of the ideal situations, so that's what we're going to strive for. Alright, so let's just grab that railway again, and we'll just see if we can bring this straight out now to connect it to its buddy. So we have to come out of the bridge pretty much and then move it. So what we'll do is literally move it. We can move this up a bit. There's a node right there. Don't want to break the bend too much. But we can actually, thanks to mods, move stuff slightly outside of my bounds here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Could we do an arrange it line maybe? And that might smoothen it out. Yeah, just a little bit. Alright, cool. So this connection should be a little easier to connect. We've unlocked the railway now actually, so that's good. I don't have to keep doing it the way I'm doing it. So there's our line. Right about there. Do we have collision turned on? Collision's on. Let's do normal mode. And I'd say just go to about there. And then these two can just connect nicely with the curve tool. Oh, yes. Alright, so we're looking a little low on the bridge, if I'll be honest. So we'll just hold shift, select both of these nodes, page up and page down. And I'll just raise it slightly. These cars won't mind in a moment. Okay. Alright, is everybody okay? Everybody's fine. The cars are fine. They've got great suspension. Man, I'm in a good mood today. Don't know if you can tell, but I'm just feeling good. Hope you guys are too. About to hit 80,000 subscribers. Big milestone. So thank you very much if you've subscribed. There was a boost in subs since doing the series, so I appreciate it. Got about 5,000, I think, in a month. So for me, that's really good. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so if you plan on at least watching one other video at least. I wouldn't want people to subscribe if you're not planning on watching, so if you're planning on watching, go ahead and do it. I'll tell you what, if we hit 85,000, because I know there's a lot of people, you hear this from YouTubers all the time, right? It's like, hey, 80% of you aren't subscribed. It is something like that for my channel that regularly watch. You can see it's like, oh, regular viewers who aren't subscribed, blah, 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 whatever number. I'll tell you what, if we hit 85... at the end of the week, right? So if we could get another 5 straight away, I'll do daily videos in this series. Okay? How about that? So we'll see if that does anything. Now, this is a little awkward, but let's do it like this. Now, I wouldn't be allowed to do that without Anarchy. I would be allowed to do that. Should we just see what it looks like normally first? So that's the normal... That's actually fine. Yeah, let's just keep it standard. Let's not confuse the game. Should we do it to there? Let's bring it right in. Up there, maybe? Okay, so there's 2 lines on each one, but we have a nice bypass, so we can go back and forth on the bypass, which is good. And there's no signaling in the game, I don't think. They just figure it out themselves, so hopefully it'll all be good. We'll let time play, and we'll see what happens. See if this gets sorted out now. It might take a while before anyone starts using the terminal, from what I've read. When you first put it down, anyway. But, yeah, once they kind of realize it's there, they'll start reallocating stuff to go that way instead. I don't know why I'm doing this. Just thought it would break it up or something. It looks a bit strange out this way. Oh, yeah, by the way, as I mentioned, tradition, you know, we have to have fires at the beginning of episodes, and this farm was ablaze, but it's all good now. Our slaughterhouses are all full of crops and meat, so things are looking good. Milking parlors are milking. Animal products are 100% full. Things are good. The place is doing great. 11,000 income currently. Obviously, that is just wildly inaccurate because it jumps up and down depending on what we're importing or exporting. This is what we're trying to cut down on, by the way. Trucks coming in and out. Now, the trucks that are going to be going into the industrial area, that's still going to be a thing, and to the commercial areas as well. And like it said when we read the tooltip, you could build another one of these, and you could actually have just the agricultural farms, just the raw product of crops. And somewhere else, we can have a separate industry that's all the refinement, the processing buildings. And the train line would carry stuff between the two. So you could do that. You can have them within the same city, and it's just your own local cargo network, really, if you want. Some people make them really complicated from what I've seen. I'm not going to do that anytime soon. Perhaps in the future, maybe when it comes to oil, if we ever tap any ore veins anywhere. I haven't actually looked for ore, but it would be fun to do something with it. If all else fails, we could just put down some of our own resources sometime. What is that, by the way? Oh, that's... Oh, they've put down their own trees as forestry. That's interesting. Anyways, what was I saying? I can't remember where I was going with that, but I guess it doesn't really matter. You get the idea. So yeah, for now, we're just going to stick with the one cargo terminal. See if we notice anyone using it just yet. Has anyone gone into it yet? Not yet. They can take a right. Yeah, they can go each way. We'll probably need traffic lights there or something in the future. No one's going in just yet. All right, we'll just wait. We'll come back and excuse me. We'll come back and take a look at it in a moment. Now, the other plan I have is to extend. Hey, there's a train right there. Is to make a bridge that goes across here and continues on up. So we might even start that today, but just not yet. So let's have a look at our downtown development. Actually, before we do, I was talking about pollution, noise pollution, right? We saw that these apartment blocks here, the wall-to-wall housing that we have, that have a much higher density than the regular standard houses out this way. Also, something I've just noticed is the leaves of the trees are becoming transparent. Now, normally that happens when you have pollution. Is that happening because of noise pollution? Because that seems to be happening. So I don't know what's going on there, but you can let me know if I've done something wrong. But anyway, people in the comments had mentioned, hey, if you want to cut down on noise pollution, first of all, you probably should just have a buffer, right? A buffer between commerce and residential. That's normally what I would plan for. I kind of thought that, well, apartments wouldn't really mind as much. I don't know why I thought that, but part of me thought the higher the density, the more acceptable it is to have noise, but not really. People are still going to be pissed off if they can hear buses going to and from all the time. So, one way you can help, although it's only a small change, is that we can have the roads with trees. So we have the avenues with trees, or you can have the median in the middle, I guess, and do it that way. So one of these ones. So 2-lane road with median trees and bicycle lanes. So we've got a 2-lane road already, and this road isn't any wider than the one we have. So we could just use that. This came with the After Dark DLC. And do we need bike lanes? Really? I don't think so. So let's just go with the regular trees. Alright, little happiness. They're like, yeah, that's good. I look out my window and I see some trees now instead of a multi-story. I mean, they're still going to see the multi-story car park, I guess. But maybe slightly better. A slight facade that they're living amongst nature or something, you know? When really, it's all concrete anyway. The trees are even fake. Now, some other people have said use your picker tool to grab trees from the individual things here. So I should address this just really quickly. When we zone an area, a block of typically 4x4, 3x4, something like that, it's usually by 4 if it can do it, is created. The building is going to take up its 2x4 here. Let's just call it 2x3. So the building is taking up 2x3, and then the game is generating a plot behind it to make it look kind of nice. It's got some trees, it's got some extra paving, sometimes it has other props, like car parks or whatever else. With mods, you can build these yourself. You can put the building down, then you can add the plot. And I don't know what mod does it. I think it's Rico. I could be wrong about that. There's another one, BOB, I think, that helps you do that kind of thing. So I don't have those two mods. I want it to not go too crazy, because I could spend so long doing one street. And as much as I think that could be fun, I wanted to make a series that's mostly playing the game. Because let's be real, people are out there building lifelike cities, And I'm just not going to be able to do that. At least not quickly. It'd take a long time of learning and building up to the point where I could do that naturally. My best bet was, my best creative endeavor was putting down some flower beds, picnic tables, and a couple of trees here, just to make it look like it's its own thing. No one uses these things though, so I don't know. I also put these down. Why? I have no idea. I just saw it and then I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. A little trash can that can go fit inside the back of the high school there. It's where the kids go out to smoke their cigarettes or whatever. Anyways, I digress. So I just thought I would point that out because people have been mentioning like, oh yeah, you can just grab these assets or you could just build onto it. I don't think I have the mods capable of doing that. Just thought I'd mention that. So that's all. Alright, so this is the cargo terminal we put down in the last episode. 52 on the articulated biofuel bus. The articulated bus, of course, is our green line heading out to the high density region. We have this one here. These guys are really piling up. A lot of people waiting. So let's try to fix that. Transport, the blue line. Now we can just click the line and then increase the number of vehicles. So I'm just going to go up to 7, just ease it up. And then we can see there's 121 people waiting here. There's no one waiting at any of the other stops. Now that doesn't mean the stops aren't useful. People will be getting out all over the place. It's just that they're not necessarily getting on these different things. Yeah, so we can see, look, a bunch of people came out. So that's good. So as long as people are using the stops, that's fine. And I'll try to pay closer attention and see if they're ever not. Okay. And I thought about trying to put this route in there. It doesn't really work out, so we'll just leave it where it is. If anything, we could make another compact bus station on this side if this ever gets doubled up, but for now, one route is totally fine. Right, so the other things I wanted to do really quickly was, over here, it was mentioned and brought up that, again, this might not be the best use of having your service buildings facing out onto this main road. The main reason being is that they're kind of automatically funneled down this way. Now, I think they actually do cut across. I'd said in the previous episode they don't. I've noticed a few times, especially when it comes to this area here, people will just cut straight across. So I didn't think they would cut across that many lanes, but they seem to do it. But I suppose in good faith, we should just plan and assume that they're not going to do that. So let's just move this slightly. Move this one over as well. So what this means is now they're going to come out here, and this actually says they're only allowed to turn one way, but we'll switch that. Let them turn left as well. Bit of a, you know, you've got a long way to cross there on a 6-lane road. Good luck, but they'll figure it out with no traffic lights. They'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But what I did want to add down here as well was two things: a taxi service and a postal service. So we'll do postal service first. I'm trying to remember where that is. It's an industry, isn't it? I think they both are. Oh no. The other one's a transport service. All right, so a post office. Post office. So we have a post office already in the game. We have one over here in our other commercial district, Franklin Heights. Seems to be very busy. 13 out of 13 vans in use. 1 truck in use. Actually, it's getting through its unsorted mail quite nicely. It doesn't have too much stacked up there, but its sorted mail is sort of. English is funny, isn't it? It's kind of getting to the point where it's like, oh, it's half full. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but so far they seem to be handling it just fine. So what we'll do is just grab another one, pop one down out here so these guys can be served by that as well. That should help them a bit. If we just have a little read about it, though, does it tell me what it actually provides? See, I don't know. What does this really do for people, you know? Post office, like, people get their post. Okay. Well, what does that do? Is that education? Is that happiness? Just general happiness? I don't know. But we'll put it down anyway. They deserve one. We'll give them one. But I couldn't tell you what it actually does. So yeah, we'll just stick it here, facing in again. You could pop one out there. I'd be a bit more comfortable with that. But we'll face it in this way. And we'll have to drag across this power line. Alright, and we should see some vehicles roll out. So they'll go this way, they'll take a right, and then they can go left or right now. Off you go. Let's check the vitals of the city. Electricity is good, water is good, sewage. Everything seems fine. Average health is dipping slightly, I would say. How are we doing with the articulated bus routes? Yeah, we got a lot of people on the street. They must have just unloaded. And I noticed that the purple route, very busy. You got some kids playing while they're waiting. Yeah, it's a little too busy for my liking, I would say, but it's good to see that so many people are willing to get the bus. It's a little tragic to see that they're not willing just to walk over there. Some of them. So where are you going? Convenience store. Oh, you're going far. Okay, so, well, some people, obviously. Any of them could be going anywhere. All right, here comes the bus. There's 20 available seats. You're going to struggle a little bit, I think. Getting them all on. tight squeeze. Now, we could go with double-decker buses for routes such as this. This is the purple route, so just for a reminder of where that goes. Sorry, if we click this, click Lines Overview. Oh, I thought there was a one-click button that lets you see. Is it this one? This one shows you the route that they're taking, but I want to see the actual bus route with one click. Is that not possible now? Like, this is the one that does it. No, it's not. What is wrong with me? Let's just click this then, I guess, and click buses. There we go. That's an easier way to do it. Or just click the infographic, I think. Anyway, so yeah, then we get to see the purple people. That's what I wanted to see. So then you know kind of where people are and where they're going to be getting on, where they're getting off. So these guys actually do pull into the depot. So they can make a nice... If you're too lazy to walk to the depot, you can just hop on your purple bus right there, get it into the depot, and then this will take you to Victoria Square, and then you can take either one of the blue lines around to Franklin Heights. That's where that lady is going. She's heading down here, right? She's going to a convenience store really far away. So she's probably either walking after she gets the second bus or taking 3. But what we'll do is we'll just increase the amount of buses because obviously it needs a little bit of help. So we'll go up to 9 with that because there was 300 people waiting. It's a little extreme. So 2 more buses should now be rolling out, unfortunately very far away down here. I think, there we go. And it does its U-turn. And off it goes. And how's our little... Look at this! And you guys thought I was crazy. It's perfect! It's awesome. Okay, great. The roundabout is fixed. God, it feels good to be right. Hey, look at this. I'm only joking, by the way. You guys are totally right with all your solutions. I did it brute force way and numerous trial and error, and it happens to work. That's kind of how it works. But hey, I like to see this. We've got trucks and stuff using it. There's our train. 100% full up. Going to Ren. How good is this? I wish it would tell me, like, which ones are my cargo or what's in there, you know? I guess it doesn't really matter, but it'd be kind of cool to know. It's like, oh, you're moving crops, you're moving animal products, you're moving, dare I say, even the Brennan's bread. Off you go. Godspeed. All right, great. How great is all this? Everything's just working so far. How's traffic, actually, speaking of? 84%. It's never been better. It's never been better. It's a little packed up here, actually. All right, I'm sorry. I'll calm down a bit. This is supposed to be a chill playthrough, isn't it? Now, we do have problems, right? We have... Oh, actually, I want to make this a historic building if we can. One of the issues here is that we don't have enough workers of a specified education type. Now, I was actually lamenting the fact that a lot of our people weren't educated enough, or they were too educated. Even some of them, you know, we were kind of missing that yellow tier, the second tier. Right, there's 4 tiers, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing the second tier, educated. So people who just come out of elementary school but not gone to high school, for instance. But people have pointed out that it's okay. Eventually, the higher education will take the lower education jobs if they have to. It doesn't work the other way around, typically, but it can work that way, right? It can go down but not up. So that's obviously good to know. And I was also reading a little bit more about education. I was educating myself, if you will, about how it works in the game. So something I didn't really realize is when people move in for the first time, they are often adults, right? They're almost always adults. It actually can happen where they're seniors or they're just about to be seniors, but they're often adults and they're often just uneducated. So you're waiting for the first generation to pass so that the kids can go to school. Adults don't go to elementary school. And there's no nighttime courses or anything, right? So in theory, these 500 students, that's their first time ever going to school, and they're not adults. And all of these buildings, if they have kids in them, so there's a way to check that, right? We go to population, and we can see green buildings are mostly families, which is great. If they're having kids, we know that that workforce is going to get educated, but we are playing with, quote, realistic population, and that just slows things down a bit. Now, it's worth mentioning that the rates aren't necessarily 100% realistic, right? We're in 2037 right now. We started the game in 2023, so only like 15 years or so have gone by. Speaking of education, shows you who really needs it. But the good thing is, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's roughly, I'd say, about 5 to 6 years before a kid becomes an adult, something like that. All right, so we don't have to worry about it to the extreme of like, oh, you got to wait 18 years or something. We don't have to wait that long. But it is a few years for sure. It's not going to be weeks like it normally would be in the game. So just bear that in mind. So time is going to be playing for a while before we start to really see the churn of education and educated students. But we can see it already happening because we know there's 500 students in our elementary school, there's nearly 600 in high capacity high school, and there's already 250 in the institute. So we know that the university is going to be churning out some higher education. Now, not everyone graduates, to be fair, but it's a good indication of where we're at. Give it another year. Like every year, this number is going to be kind of what you'll get in the workforce. Pretty much. Is that building staying there? It looks like we've managed to hang on to it for a moment. I made it historic just because I think it's a beautiful building. Isn't it really cool to have that sort of overlay on top of the bricks? I just think it looks really nice. So I'd like to keep it. I'd kind of like to keep this one as well because it has the Cities Skylines, the Colossal Order sort of logo on it. We'll keep that one. This one's up to 78. In fact, you know what? I don't want them growing, so we'll just make them all historic for now because they're high density. Some people mentioned maybe don't go with so many high density, put some lower density down again if you want to fill those bars. So that's what we're going to do, but I'm actually going to do it back over at Victoria Square. All right, so seeing as we've just added the trees here, which has helped noise pollution by a couple of %, I would imagine. Bonk. It's maybe eased it a little bit. We're going to extend a bit more of the commerce out this way. People have money to spend. They just don't have anywhere to spend it. So see you later, and we'll add them in here. So this is just regular commercial zone. It's not the high tier, or the high density. And then what we'll do is we'll just grab that road, same one, and upgrade the one out to our right here. So just create that delineation between residential and this area as well. This is just a bend in the road, so you might as well keep it consistent. Now the bus routes may have gotten a little disrupted from that. Are they okay? They're okay. They're fine. And then we should see this commerce getting utilized here. So while we're waiting for that, I know it's nighttime, but what I'd like to do now is start expanding over this way. We have a need for residential, and as much as I want to grow the high density, we also got to fill this area out. It's not done yet. So we'll just fill all of this area in here, all the way up here, and across to there, and across to there. That should be a nice little expansion for these guys. Brighten it up. We'll just blind ourselves if you're getting used to dark mode there for a sec. Whoops. What are people saying? Mary Murray. Our vacation was extended. Mary, nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares about what you're posting on Facebook. Or Chirpbook, Twitter. Or whatever. What did she say? What else did she say? Could someone water the... Oh my god. Yeah. God help her. Alright. How's everything going then? Crown Farms, loving life. 889 workers here. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, it feels good, man. The uneducated jobs are almost completely taken. We still have a lack... we're lacking tier 1... I keep calling it tier 1. Tier 2. We're lacking elementary school education, so 200 workers there. We've got pretty much all the other ones. Highly educated, 77 out of 77. Love to see it. They know where the jobs, the real money's at. People who come out of university go straight to the farms. And this road system seems to be working. Dare I say I made a good thing happen. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, oh, the cars actually really do go in. I thought they would just stop on the edge and then come out, because that tends to be what happens. And in fact, I'd noticed over at the university, this is a problem. This bus that parks up here, it prevents cars going past it. So I had an idea. A bold idea. Now, you might really have to help me out with this one, because there's no one-lane road in the game, as far as I know. Like a little avenue, except for the highway ramp. So I don't know if it's a good idea to use this or not. But let me just search. I'll just search one lane? No. Lane? Obviously lane will come up with everything, right? 2-lane road. I'll type 1-lane. Yeah, there's no 1 lane. Now it could be, we could just have a 2-way road. So 2-way. Sorry. We're looking for a 1-way. Maybe with trees or something, or just a little bit of grass. My idea here is, instead of a bus stopping here, we could create a little bus route that just comes in and then rejoins out this way. Just simple as. So you just come in and then go out. And that way you're the bus pulling into the Institute's own car park, if you will. letting people off or letting people on. And then you're just rejoining the traffic, you know, rejoining onto the main road where you'd normally be going. And that way you're not blocking anyone behind you. No one has to wait. Because as this place starts to get busy, that's going to pile up and block junctions. So we got to get ahead of that problem before it happens. Because it's not a great position for that bus stop if it's going to be happening so easily. So anyway, what I'll do is we'll just try this. We'll just see how it goes. We'll just use a... So tempted to use the highway ramp. You know what? I'm just going to go for it. You guys can scold me later if it doesn't work out. Alright. It could come in off there, actually, but no. Oh, you see, the problem is it's not going to come off of just one side of this median. It's going to come off of both. Okay, then, right, I've changed my mind. Sorry. We'll go with the regular road. We'll go with the one with the trees on it. The decorated road. At least that'll look a little nicer. Maybe just even the grass, I think, would probably look nice. So we'll go with the one-way road, the grass on either side. We'll come in off here. Just to there, and then just curl across like that. Oh, it looks nice, actually, but the idea would be that it would just join on here seamlessly. But that's the problem that you get when you do this. But let's see what we can do with it. Let's see if we can clean this up. Alright, so... Actually, I've got another idea as well. Just go up a little further. Okay. Now... Let's move that bus route. Perfect, right? That's where we want it to go. It creates this lovely little bit here. We can move this building. It's going to cost a little bit of money just to move it over a little bit. 18,000, wow. Didn't need it anyway. Go into our move tool and just shift that over ever so slightly. It's too much. I think if you hold Alt and the arrow keys, you can just move it a little bit. Okay, cool. We've got this room here now to add some certain things to it in the future if we want, and if we really needed to, we could push this further in. But I'm hoping this will be good enough. Alright, so now when a bus comes along and goes this way, it won't be blocking anyone. But what we got to do is say that only buses can use this, yeah? That would make sense. So it's just purely for buses. It can't make a pure bus line. That would be the ideal. If I had just this strip and I could have one lane just coming in, that'd be the goal. But I don't think I can, so we're doing this instead. I would argue actually a taxi rank in here might be nice, so we'll add that too in the future if we need to. So let's see, speed. What's the speed? 40? Yeah, you can keep your speed. That's fine. Junction, you're allowed to turn right. You should only turn right, in my opinion, until we decide to add another bus route specifically that's going to go a different way. So you're just joining where your route is going. Now, let time play. Go to the node controller, fix it up a bit. It's already fixed. Get rid of the crosswalks, I would say. We want to actually get rid of the crosswalks, not just visually. So logically, they are gone. And then I suppose what I could do is fake this. We could get something like this going. So we actually just join the routes ourselves. If not entirely, we can at least make it kind of look like that. So it's just continuing somewhat. You could bring these closer together as well, I suppose. Actually, maybe let's just do that first. Without it graphically getting a bit weird. That's a bit better, right? Okay. So, yeah, there's our dotted line, but it's not the same. We need to make it the same. Now, to do that, to try and do this quickly without boring everybody for too long, we just need to change the spacing a bit. So, graphical effects, that's the cracks, the width, the length, the space. There we go. There's the spacing. So we need to bring it in. Oh, actually, we need to get the dash to be shorter. That's really what's happening. About there. And maybe the spacing is increased slightly. About there. And then we can just copy and paste that as we do it for the other ones. So we'll click this one and we'll click copy. And then paste, is it? Bonk. Alright, cool. And then for these ones, straightforward, right? It's just a straight line, so a solid. So I can't, unfortunately, fill that with the red / orangey type color, but I don't know, something about it kind of looks nice. Is that crazy? might be a little crazy. Why is there space on that? What's this lane for? Just for parking or something? A little weird. Should we just leave it like that? You can tell me what I need to do with it. It looks a little off. Okay, so if we grab, for instance, this line, I think what you can do is you can move its offset, right? So that's the width of the line. That's fair enough. Graphical effects. There's definitely a way to offset it. I just can't remember. I don't want to spend too long doing it because I'll forget what I was doing. But yeah, I've done it before where I've just shifted lines like ever so slightly. I'll actually show you where I did it, where I was playing around with this. It was down here. I did it with these. These weren't aligned either. And oh, they actually kind of aren't anymore. And I was trying to fill this island here, right? To make it look like, yeah, this isn't a junction in the game. This is just a slip road. Unfortunately, the texture that I have available to me here is different than the actual pavement island, and I don't know how to have that be any different. We have our post vans coming in now. That's kind of cool. We know where they're going. They're heading over here. Interesting route to take. You could have gone straight and around that way. What are the speeds on these roads, actually, just out of curiosity? It's 50. Well, it should be 80. That might be the reason that you felt the need to take what I would assume is either the busier way or the longer way overall. They're 60. Yep. Just kind of curious. I can't remember what speed I gave this. Yeah, it's 80 all the way around. Okay, that's good. Might as well put the logic in for it now so they can make their choices about where they want to go. Alright, cool. Is that 80 the whole way? I think so. The roundabout is listed as 40. We'll put it at 60. I mean, this is pretty fast for a roundabout, I think, but should be fine. Alright, cool. Maybe we'll see post vans taking a different route next time. Who knows? Alright, next thing. Taxi service. Why not? Everything seems to be going well. Actually, you know what could go better? Maybe we can get a few more people in. Yeah, I would say here. Okay, cool. Now, a few things I wanted to do here as well was actually add some new parks. They're kind of low on parks. I don't think they really have any. A small playground. Yeah, I was thinking a playground would be good, like somewhere down here. I don't know if that's weird or not. I want to make the place look fairly natural, but I don't know. What else do we have? We have the small park, which is actually not that small. That could be a good place for it, actually, thinking about it. That's not bad at all. Just like on the edge and on the way in. Don't we have one over there? What is this? A friendly neighborhood park. Oh, that's a unique building. I think the weird thing with this is I don't think this counts as a park. This counts as like entertainment because it's like a tourist attraction. It's a unique building. We don't actually have parks here. If you look at parks and plazas, people are like, yeah, you don't have any. Unique buildings, they're like, yes, we have one. So yeah, we got to add some in. They don't care about the yoga center we added either. So yeah, parks will make these guys a little happier. Dog park is always cute. Dog park, I was thinking to put it near the commercial area. So just put it here. You know, these might move a little bit when I really zoom in and take a moment to kind of assess where things might need to go. I don't want to get too haphazard with it, but large playground. No, I would say a small playground. Look at that. They're really happy now. How satisfying is that? Alright, they love it. It's as easy as that. What else do we have? Botanical garden, a fishing island. There's loads of different things in here. I was looking around and playing around with them. I'd love to add something like this, like the pond park. I was thinking this would be cool to actually put up near the Institute. It could fit in like somewhere like here maybe. Well, I initially thought it could, but now I've got that bus in there, so I guess it can't. Oh, speaking of, there's traffic lights here. We don't want that. Forget those. They're death trap traffic lights. We'll put them in when volume of traffic goes up and we'll decide where they're needed. But here I would imagine something like a stop sign would make more sense than a traffic light. But also I would say actually really it's fine. It's purely based on the fact that... Is this a one-way road, by the way? You can only use one lane to get out. I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's where you're going. This is a bus-only situation, so that's... You have no say in the matter. Although I guess you could say that that's where you should go in the future. So let me get rid of that one. All right, so you're coming out that way and you have to go there if you're going out that way. So they could maybe do with the traffic light actually in future. We'll see. How many people are on the line? 12. So I like this. This is looking good, I think, you know. It's fairly tucked in. People are using it. So it'll obviously get more and more busy as more people are eligible to use this in the future. And we know that the purple line is super, super busy just because people want to get from here to there, basically, it seems. Does seem like a waste of a bus, really. It just fills up to 30. Let's see how much it unloads when it gets to the next area. There's no one waiting to... Yeah, 27 people got off. So we're moving people from there to there. Now, the thing is, some of these people might be walking from all the way down here, to be fair. To be absolutely fair to them. That is just their closest bus route to get to this place. So some of them might be like, yeah, look, I walked quite a while. I'm just going to hop on, pay $1, get over there. It's fine. But imagine waiting. That's the bigger thing. You're going to wait. Really, maybe we should just have the bus route come down here, pick them up as well, something like that. Don't know. I have to think about it. Feel it out for a while. So I've said this several times. Taxis. Let's go. I've been delaying it long enough. Taxis. Taxi rank, taxi depot, and then you get a taxi rank, I think. Yeah. Now, I was hoping to put it in here, but it actually looks like it's going to be too big. That's what she said. The whole thing, by the way. Not the whole thing's too big. The whole sentence, I meant, is what she said. Should we just go with there? That means you'd have to come in, though, first. We want them to go out, potentially. I mean, ideally. Oh, you know what? Next to the bus station would make the most sense. But is that piling on too much traffic, you know? You could have taxi ranks then in different places. Alright, so let's just get rid of the power pole. We'll connect that back in a second. Let's try this out. If it seems like it's a bad idea, we'll move it. They don't like it. Why would a business not like a taxi attract wealthier customers? I don't understand that. I would be ecstatic if you're going to have a place across from me where people are waiting to go somewhere. What do we have, by the way? Taxi cabs, black taxi cabs. Let's go with taxi cabs. And then we'll raise this building just slightly. Like it was sinking into the ground a bit. Yeah, I'm not super, I gotta be honest, not super confident with the placement of this just yet, but taxis are available. They start and end their shifts here, okay? Yeah, I'm thinking not to put this in a place that would be that busy, to be honest. Because it's already a place where buses are stopping. But we'll see. I mean, there's a bus and taxi lane right here, so I suppose that's a good thing. Something else. Parking. Don't be parking there. You're blocking the taxi. They all just go into the back then. Alright, and then I suppose we could add a taxi rank, right? So, a taxi stand. When a cab is not busy, it'll return to the closest taxi stand to wait for a fare. Now, I doubt students are going to be using these that much, but you never know. So you can wait there. And we'll allow for taxis. So that's the taxi there. Suppose, yeah, let them on both sides if they want. They can go out whatever way they want. Alright, great. Did that lane connector connect up? Why is that lane showing but the other one not? I don't know. Okay. Alright, so now you've got your lovely little taxi stand. You've got your bus as well if you want to get that. You've got a crosswalk to get over to both. I mean, what more could you possibly want? And you've even got a tree. Yeah, so you can pretend like nature's a real thing. And that birds are real. What do we got? 600 people still. How's this? What's the situation? What else did I write down that I haven't added yet? Nothing really, actually. I've done everything I planned on for this episode, surprisingly. Ahead of schedule. Our new commercial area, the buildings are all in. So basically, to level these up, attract wealthier customers. We still have demand for all this. How's that new community we just built as well? They're okay. They got a lot of empty space between their areas. How are you guys for parks and stuff? So you've got a park right in the center there. We want to do a more traditional park because those ones don't really seem to activate the same type of thing. Small playground. And there's a school right here as well. Right there. small local playground? That's the end of a cul-de-sac, so that wouldn't really make any sense. I would say somewhere like here. Does it make sense to have like playgrounds and stuff at the edge of a turn? I feel like yes. Whenever I'm trying to think back to when I used to play football or, you know, different things like that. These places normally wouldn't be just along a stretch of road. They'd be at a turning point. Almost always, thinking about it. Just where I grew up anyway. I don't know what's efficient or not, but at least this way they would have coverage. Let's do that. That's just a small little playground. What else can we do? Another dog park. We're using a lot of the same things. I guess it kind of makes sense though, just generally out in the suburbs anyway. This small park is actually fairly large. The coverage is great. Yeah, let's pop one right around here. So it doesn't ruin the houses at the back. It ruins some of the ones that we're going over, but that's okay. Just try. I don't want to make too hasty decision, but the coverage looks really good for this. Yeah, so I'm happy to put it here. Okay. Oh, I do remember another thing I was planning on doing. Let's buy this tile. 8,600. A little bit of oil. Only 36% area for building. Now, this gives us our water connection. We can have a cargo terminal from rail, go along the edge of the map, up here, park up here, and people mentioned you could combine this with like a ferry terminal thing. So that way we can like export our goods at sea. So that'd be really nice if we could combine those up. I forgot to reconnect this. Electricity is getting a tad low. We're going to have to look for some new solutions. We did unlock, actually, a hydro power plant. We could put that on a river. In theory. So we could try and dam the river here and put the hydro power plant on it. Now it could generate us a lot of power, and you could actually connect the roads across it then if you wanted to. Kind of tempting. Might think about it. I'd love to see how much this is being used. 1,440 upkeep per week. Is it paying off though, you know? I would hope that it means that more trucks are actually available for us, because what was happening a lot before is that oh yeah, actually it does seem like it might be, maybe. That was just one exact, yep, that's really good. 1 out of 10, 5 out of 6, 3 out of 10. 4 out of 13. So what was happening before is the journey would be so long to export goods off map. Like they'd have to, you know, the cars would have to go all the way down to here before they start to basically disappear. And the time it takes for that truck to go off and then come back, it's time lost where it could be filling these things up or doing other logistical maneuvers. But now they just go, I'm just going to go down here, park in there, come back up. So it does save on the amount of trucks that we're using by a lot, it seems, because these are I put down so much storage because we saw that they were constantly in use. And if you'll remember a few episodes ago, they couldn't even deliver stuff to our factory fast enough because it was like, yeah, the trucks are all in use, the crops are falling behind even though we were making enough crops. So it's good to see things are getting better. We're definitely seeing the fruits of our labor. Nearly at 12,000 people now as well. Got some big traffic there. Nothing terribly crazy though, I guess, which is good. Let's speed it up as it is nighttime. Gonna be less buses here at night. 30 on the line. Can't quite tell how many people are waiting. Let's just see. 60, just about. Yeah, that's good. Obviously it is nighttime, but that's a pretty good amount. And now the buses just went down to 5 because it's evening time. So some of these buses are gonna go return to their depot. But that's good. Yeah, it looks like that's fine. Oh yeah, the intercity area though is busy. Super busy. Let's just select that again. There we go. So only 4 buses are on the line for that. 75, 75, 28. They just unloaded now, and 75. So arguably, maybe slightly they need more during the night, but we'll leave it. I think they're okay. How many waiting? Actually, I should really check that number. 220. Yeah, I would say maybe you can go up to 5 then. And then during the day, it'll be maybe a bit too much, but it's okay. We'll see how it goes. Still tempted to build that metro linking the 2 areas, by the way. Haven't decided if we're going to do that or not. Taxis in use, 19 out of 25. Love to see it. Are there any taxis waiting over here? Nope. So how do we track these guys then? So to do that, that's one way. That's a bad way. Let's do transport. Taxis, 2 per week. So if we see little green cars going around, those would be the ones that are taxis. It's not going to have an arrow on the thing though. We'll just have to spot them. But I'd be curious to. I wonder, is there any in this area? I would imagine most people are getting taxis to and from out this way. And maybe a taxi rank is needed, you know, near Victoria Square, for instance. That would probably make the most sense. These could be hard to spot though. I'm looking for... I guess check the main roads, right? It says 20 taxis are in use. So there's got to be someone using the main road, no? Should look like that, I think. There it is. There, we got one. There we go. Beginning your work shift. Picking up passenger Travis Williams. Let's go. So where's Travis? Yeah, Travis is way in there. Oh, we're going to follow this journey, because why the hell not? Sorry, I was just taking a drink. This is nice. Let's clear our UI a bit, just a little bit. At least we're making money. Money does seem to be going up overall, even with its wild fluctuations. Hey, I'm walking here. Alright, let's keep going. Triple speed. This is his first job of the day. Yeah, I'd say you need a taxi rank out here. Ultimately, though, it says at the end of their shift, they do have to go back to the depot. So maybe it would be better to have it in the industrial area. I just know that people can wait. Hey, you can use the bus lane if you want, dude. How far are you going, by the way? Yeah, why wouldn't you use the bus lane? Let me just see. I just want to make sure I haven't banned them. No, I haven't banned them. Alright, you do what you want then. I guess I won't micromanage you. Maybe he saw the bus waiting and just thought, you know what? I can get there faster. Alright, so he's pulling up to Travis's house, I assume. Oh my god, Travis is super old. And now he's going to the Multimedia Center. Wow. Okay, so he's going straight back out there to the Multimedia Center. Well, there we go. That's one taxi journey and where that person is going. So yeah, let's try and put down one more taxi rank out on the other side of town and see if that helps. Don't know where I'd put it though. Obviously you'd be destroying a lot of things to make room for this. But it seems to make sense to me that you'd probably want a taxi rank somewhere here and somewhere around Franklin Heights. But that being said, the taxis don't have much capacity. 25. It's almost like you need more depots than anything. Is there a separate... Yeah, you can adjust the amount that they make. What's this? Oh, the Postal Service's budget is up as well. Oh, I didn't know that. 49% of your income comes from residential zones. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Never looked at this panel, really. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, people said as well that, you know, offices could be a nice breaker between, noise pollution and like commercial and residential offices. Can't really go with offices just yet until we get more educated workforce. We're currently at 17% unemployment. It's a lot of higher education jobs that haven't been taken yet. 9% seniors. A lot of the seniors are now popping up around here. Remember, I made my retirement age adjustment a while ago. Seems to be okay. I'd say by now it's sort of settled, you know, at least in this older part of town where that's kind of the way it's going to be, which is okay. We could actually check how many people have died, right? So we have 673 lost souls, and then out here, 73. So about 750 people have died in our city so far. So we connected up this area. I'd forgotten to actually do this. The reason I connected it was so we could connect this road. So we actually want to go with a straight road, dead straight along here for a little while. And then we'll curve it. Just trying to see, that's where that line goes. Just trying to figure out, do you go to the, like if I go to that point and then I cross over, is that, yeah, that basically does it. But then you need to kind of straighten up, don't you? So you don't have to go the whole way. Do this. Yeah, that's better. All right, so we've connected the whole thing. That's good. What we'll just need to do really quickly with that is set that speed to be correct. So it should be 80 down the line. So that's a really long line that goes all the way down. Now, we can get rid of that junction, perhaps. Although it looks like it's getting some use, actually, right now. But let's just see how it does without it. That's what I like to do, anyway. Don't add them in until they're needed, these traffic lights and stuff. Because if anything, you clear the traffic. See? Yeah, great. Alright, and these guys now have another way of kind of getting in and around the place. So, yeah, taxi rank. I'm just not sure. Maybe we could get rid of one of the commercial buildings. That might make more sense. 13 out of 13 visitors. Like this area here, this could be a good taxi rank. I think. Across from the high school, you know. Let's give it a shot. Taxi stand, I should say. I keep calling them... Well, it is a taxi rank. Oh, wow, it's really small. Right, I didn't realize... Whoops. I didn't realize it's literally one line. Do you know what? This probably fits in some of these places. Yeah, it fits right there, God damn it. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I removed your businesses for no reason. We'll do a little anarchy here, because it's just overlapping slightly with this thing. But that's fine. That's fine. Look at it, it's perfect. Alright, these businesses will reappear. Oh, you know what? I was hitting undo, but it's not working. Oh well. Sometimes if you do things that are a bit too complicated, it doesn't bring them back. Alright, so those businesses will pop back up. They now have a taxi stand. Taxis in the queue, 0 out of 5. But we might see them waiting a little later. Hey, look at this. We got 3 waiting. Love to see it. As long as things are working and people are using things, I'm happy. 21 out of 25 in use now. I guess there was a demand for it if they're all in use. So just for a recap, here's what we did. We built a cargo train terminal. Apparently successfully. Trains are rolling by. Haven't actually seen if the bypass is working or not, but I'm sure it is. They don't really have issues with pathfinding too much in this. The business park, all of that's good. The traffic is down on the roundabout. Slightly. Maybe not. Let's not look at that for too long. The compact bus station is working nicely. We've now denoisified, that's a word, the roads between the residential. Only slightly, but you know, every little helps. We built out more of the neighborhood out this way. It's a little spaced, I would say. There's probably a bit too much space going on in there. It still needs to be filled out. Next episode, we can start maybe thinking about oil. We've also added the postal service up here. So 13 trucks in use, or vans. So that's good. They're doing their thing. We added some extra buses. So those buses are going to be very busy in here all the time. So that's nice. The very last thing I'm going to do, it's going to be crazy. Where are you? I know what I want. I saw it earlier. Fuck yeah. Sorry for swearing. But yeah, it's a giant shopping mall. Shopping center. Shopping center, a complex of shops under one roof. So it is, again, it's a unique building. So it's like a tourist attraction / entertainment building. Things that people use. It's not necessarily going to meet any commercial demand. It's kind of in a different category. But what we can also do to fill out the back now. And that, by the way, I should have really hovered over for a moment. So, oh, so it's in landmarks. Oh, shit. So this building forms a complex of shops, cafes, restaurants, and other retail facilities. An excellent place to hang out with your friends or go crazy with your credit card. 190 grand is what we just dropped on that bad boy. 3,200 per week upkeep. That's quite expensive. Quite expensive. But, you know, the cargo terminal hopefully is paying for it. We're shipping goods left, right, and center now. We're about to exploit oil. We've hit 12,000 population. This place is providing entertainment. It's got a little noise pollution, but that's why we keep it over in the commercial district. Now, another building in there that I was tempted to use was the cinema. Which I would say is, you know, you could put maybe here. put it right next to this place. Well, I'm not going to do it immediately. So we are facing out on this road. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. Well, let's just dress it really quickly. Ooh, there you go. Negative 4,000, if you can't see it. Okay, so we get our path in just like that. We'll use our Move It tool and just hold Alt and bring it closer to the actual sidewalk, just to blend it. Do the same with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, get this one. 1, 2, 3. Looking good. Blended. Yeah? I don't want to get too crazy, but there's another thing I saw which is kind of cool. I don't know if it's in here or not. It was like statue of shopping or something. Yeah, there it is. No. We'll leave it at that for now. I'll look at other buildings that could maybe fit along here in the future, but again, maybe just more regular commercial buildings when they're ready. I think that looks great. I think it's a beautiful looking building in the game, so just really like it. Thought it'd be nice to put something down that's a bit more expensive. See if we can handle it. If we can't handle it, we can always get rid of it. Wouldn't like to, but it's a bit more of a focal point now of our built up area. We have our Institute of Technology University, we have our taxi rank next to it. We've fit our bus route in to be a bit more natural looking, I think. That's all working totally well. Commercial district is growing nicely. We have our taxi depot. We've added a few new parks. We have our yoga center now in here as well. These houses are going to grow once their education level rises. We've got... There's the new park. I was just looking for it. Kind of want to maybe move that into the side here if we could a little bit. Be look a bit nicer maybe. And then we also added in another one here. Alright. I think that's going to have to be it for this episode. Pretty good one, right? Remember what I said. 85k. Let's see if we can do it. I can't imagine 5,000 of you are unsubscribed. But, you know, we can gain subscribers naturally anyway. And people will hit this video all sorts of times. So, 1 to 2 weeks, 5k, I think you can do it. Just hit subscribe. Tell everyone else to subscribe. Like the first video. Like all the videos, if you can. And then maybe it could happen. And then, you'll have daily Cities content from me. Alright, that's going to have to be it for me. Thank you very much. By the way, this episode is a result of your suggestions. The cargo terminal stuff, when you gave me that feedback, it was great. The noise pollution stuff, all of that. Really do appreciate it. Helps me get informed and then relay that back to you and hopefully just have a good time with the game as well. So thank you very much. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.